Um, so tell me, what is your full name and where are you from?
Sherry Stephenson from Colleyville.
All right.
And I'm Ricky Stephenson from Colleyville.
Great. And how long y'all been in Colleyville?
4 years.
4 years?
Mhm.
Great.
From Irving originally.
Yeah.
Awesome. You like it out here?
We do.
Good.
We do.
Good.
Still love Irving.
Still go back.
Yeah,
That
love
Urban
Irving.
Chamber
Almost
event.
daily.
Yes.
There you go. All right. So tell me a little bit. What was life like? Before we started working with you. I mean, what? Just take me through your day. How you felt? What was going on?
Would you like to start since you're the one with all the energy?
Well, I had no energy. I would get up and go to work and come home and go to bed.
Go to bed.
Mhm.
And when you got home from work, how did you feel?
I was exhausted. I would maybe get some dinner, maybe not, and just go to bed at like maybe 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Go through the night. Now, not every night, but 3 or 4 nights a week.
And how
Frequently.
did that affect you?
It just, I don't know, just wasn't happy and just tired and exhausted, and of course then you had no family time.
Yeah,
So,
that's the big thing. You weren't doing all those
No.
other things. What about you, Ricky?
I probably did have some, looking back now, I probably didn't have as much energy because a lot of times if she was in bed, it's like, what else is there to do? I'd watch television for a little bit, and I may go to bed at 8:30 or 9. But now the routine, we get up at 5 or 5:30, and we might still go to bed at 10, but it's kind of about perfect. But for me, I've noticed the energy levels are a lot better. I don't struggle near as bad when I bend over and tie my shoes. That used to be a problem, trying to breathe and tie my shoes, so that's a good thing. Since I had never done any kind of workout before, I remember the first time we met, you were talking about, can't remember the exact phrase you used, but that you would really enjoy it or like it, and I tend to agree with that. So.
Yeah, you was open-minded, which was good, going into it, but you really didn't know what to expect.
Right.
What type of things had y'all tried before? Before you started working out, you talked about, the spinning class. Tell me about that story.
I've never been. I've always been active in some form or fashion of working on things or tinkering with things, and so I've never really been what I would call a workout person. I didn't really care to run. We'd play softball. We played on the softball league before and things like that. A few years ago, Sherry talked me into going into this fitness place. They were offering some, 1 or 2 day free trial deals. So she said, well, let's go do the cycling class. Well, here again, if I commit to something, it's like, okay, we're going to do it. So we went, and it was an hour-long class, and we jumped in there, and I noticed after 10 minutes, Sherry had quit. Well, we're there for an hour, so I went the full hour. If you'd had a drain pan under me, it would have been pretty full just from sweat. After that was over, went home, crashed for about 4 hours. I was pretty exhausted, and so that was the extent of any workout I've done. So
Never went back.
yeah, never went back. And then here recently, we had bought the bicycles and started doing that, and that didn't seem to be too bad, but I don't think we were really pushing it enough either to get. And then kind of like our visit, you had mentioned that it would take a lot of cycling to get the same kind of results.
Absolutely. Well, he's working on one component, and
Yeah.
that makes things a little more challenging. What other things had you tried in the past besides that?
Well, I've always worried about weight,
Yeah.
so I would always do the meals, the lean meals.
Lean cuisine?
Yeah, lean cuisine, or some of those, and tried not eating during the day. All that, none of that worked, especially as I got older.
The eating less and doing
It
more
just wasn't-
activity wasn't
was
doing
not
it.
working. Periodically I'd do the treadmill, and then, no big results, but I wasn't pushing it. I was just walking on it. So, no results. So after 2 days, I quit.
Yeah.
I want immediate results, and it just wasn't working.
It wasn't happening at all.
No. So,
I got you. Now, what were you skeptical? I mean, before you started our program, going through it, were you skeptical about, what we were presenting to you, if it would be helpful for you?
Yeah, for me, I had nothing to compare to in the past.
Yeah.
So for me, I was pretty open-minded, and I thought, if I can lose some weight, and I probably didn't realize how much weight or how much gut I had, because when you look down, you always see your stomach. And, but for a period there, Sherry kept saying, "Man, your stomach's getting flat," and it's like, really? It still looks like it's there.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
But then when everybody else started noticing and saying, "Hey, you're losing weight," and it's like, really? So yeah, your face is skinnier, and oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And then you start seeing the numbers change too,
Right.
and that kind of reinforces that.
right, yeah.
And that's why you track, because
Yeah.
you look
Right.
at yourself every day and am I
Right.
changing? But when you see the numbers, it does. How about you?
I wasn't skeptical at all. I knew y'all knew what you were doing. I mean, you can just tell. I
Yeah.
mean, and I had talked with you at one of the chamber things, and I felt very confident. And
Yeah, we had
But-
met like a year before you even called us,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
have been getting my emails. And,
right.
Yeah.
And I knew that I was ready to do something, and it was either lipo or that. So
Yeah.
I figured I should try something first. And I wasn't really. I didn't realize how much toning the exercise would make it different. I was all about the weight on the scale, and now I can see that. I mean, it's important, but I think it's contouring the body a little more, and that's what I'm liking more.
Yep.
Is that it's toning, and so the areas that I didn't like, I mean, they're getting so much better, and I don't think just dropping the weight would have done it.
No.
It would have not.
Not on.
So
I mean, it's more
you
about
had to do
reshaping.
the exercise, like just not eating wasn't gonna do it,
Yep.
so.
Yeah, and you know that now,
Right,
which is good.
right.
Which is good. Let's talk about results. We can start with some, just of the main results. Obviously, it looks like inches have dropped. Tell me a little bit about that. How inches have changed your body.
Well, with the previous 2 evenings, we've had some chamber events, and it's been a couple of months since I wore my suit. Put it on the other night, and before I put my belt on, my pants just basically went all the way down to the floor, and I thought, I could dress up kind of like what some of these other guys that wear their pants down around their butt or something. But it was pretty amazing. I know when Eric measured the other day, it showed 4 inches on my stomach, but just with my pants, I can see there's a good 2 inches plus. And bought some new jeans last week, and even with those, they're not tight.
Yeah.
They're a little bit loose, so I'm kind of thinking I may have to wait a little bit longer before I go buy any more, because if I lose another inch there, it's pretty amazing. The weight has been, pretty amazing too. I know when we talked in the beginning, 15 pounds, and I thought, 15 pounds. And I hit the 15-pound mark actually a little over a week ago, about a week and a half ago, and it fluctuates up and down every day, but I can see that average is continuing to drop. So this may even be, I can see realistically could be 18 pounds by the time we're done just with this phase of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. And you're what, in week 11 now, 10, 11 now. So that's about right. The weight loss that you're doing, the fat loss that you're doing is about right. Let's talk about your results a little bit, Sherry, because it looks like the big thing that pops out at me is your body composition has dropped a lot. Because it really wasn't as much about weight, but although you
Right.
did lose weight.
Right.
So
Right.
how much weight did you end up losing?
I think it's at 10 pounds, maybe 11 now.
Yeah.
So,
And then body composition went from where are we at?
it was way higher than I thought.
Yeah, you was at 31. No, I'm at the wrong one.
It was 30 something.
yeah, I think it was 31 initially,
Which just seems really
31.8 or something.
Yeah, 31.7%, and you're down to 24%. So that's
And
what,
I can tell the difference. I mean, I just tell it looks better.
yeah. So you've lost almost 8% body fat in that period of time. That's great.
Yeah. feels good.
Yeah.
Feels so good.
What have you noticed the biggest change about your body? What's changed the most?
I think through my stomach area, which is where I wanted it. You know, it just not quite the overlapping muffin top thing. Not quite as bad. So
Yeah.
that feels good.
How about your arms?
I can feel that they have a little better shape.
Yeah.
There.
Well, those are guns now. You know? So
And my upper strength was so bad. My upper, I like to do 2 push-ups in the beginning was just awful. I couldn't believe I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I still feel like my upper body strength is just building, and I still struggle with some of the stuff we do, but it's much better.
Yeah.
I can do, what do we do, 18 push-ups, 3 sets of 18, so I can do those now.
Yeah.
You know, like from 2, so that's
3
amazing.
sets of 18 push-ups from 2.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
It is, you know.
Tell me about your energy now. I mean, you know, your enery was pretty bad going
was
into
terrible,
this. You
yes.
know, tell me about your energy now.
Oh, now I can't sleep past 7 if on Saturday. We get up at 5:20 every morning, and I'm ready to get up, and I don't go to bed at 6 or 7. And you know, I noticed I had been invited to several, you know, activities in the evenings, and I would always decline. You know, just fun things that I could do, but I was always too tired. And now I'm always ready to go, so I mean, I'm very happy about that.
That is great.
Yeah,
So it's really changed your life.
it really has.
Having
Yeah,
the energy.
it does. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So as a result, when you get home from work, how do you feel? I mean, because you're waking up at 5:20 in the morning, and you get home from work, how you feel?
I'm still ready to go. I mean, I don't feel like I just got to go take a nap.
Yeah.
Or go to bed. So.
Do you feel like you have more time now as a result of that?
Oh yeah, because it's not always sleeping.
Yep.
know. And it just is a brighter outlook. I think maybe just I don't feel depressed. I think that maybe that's what it was too.
That's
Some of
great.
that, so it feels good.
That's
It's
good. Tell me about, from a fitness standpoint, how your body has changed from, you know, cardio and strength. You know, you talked about your upper body strength. Tell me a little bit more about yours, Ricky.
I can tell that, you know, my arms have gained a lot more. And probably in my earlier years, I had a lot of strength arms because I was in the automotive field and always working on cars. And as I've transitioned in the office, I've lost some of that. And so I can tell that my strength is improved drastically. Kind of like Sherry in the beginning doing push-ups. I was embarrassed. I was like, God, 5 push-ups, that's it. So now, you know, doing you know, 3 sets of push-ups is not a problem. It's you know, it just rolls right along. So, and along with many other exercises, I do like that. You know, I've been able to tell that my body is as I look back before. Actually, Sherry found a picture of me the other day when we were at the beach, and it's like, wow, my gut was kind of big. So, and I noticed that there was no tone, and now, you know, there's definitely a lot more tone. So that's been good.
Great. Now, where do you see yourself? You know, 11 weeks into this, where do you see yourself from what we've taught you and what you've learned? See yourself in, you know, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, a year from now. Where do you see yourself?
I think for me, it'll continue to improve. Learning, as I've never looked at calories, never cared. Now I realize, you know, as I said a while ago, eating, you know, the basket of chips at the Mexican food place, just how many calories that is. I'll still eat some chips occasionally, but, you know, I'll eat a few and eat a few with my sandwich, and that's it. So just the change in the behavior, I guess, moving forward and knowing what foods are better for you, and as far as the protein side and all that, I think that will just kind of continue to build.
Yeah.
So,
Do you feel like you have established the habits pretty solid now that you can continue to do this?
I do. You know, I think over the last few weeks, as I've tried to kind of mentally think about, you know, what meals I'm going to have where and what balance, and I know the days that we work out and have the physique that I may have to modify a little bit because, you know, I never would have thought about having a shake for breakfast before.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's really pretty sweet because it's got everything you need. It's done, and you don't have to worry about it. So it's definitely been good on that side of it.
So you don't feel like it's something you've done for the last few months and then you can't sustain it. I mean, it doesn't feel like just some fad that you're going through.
No, you know what's kind of neat? I was telling somebody the other day. It's like I used to treat the kids to like a banana shake and you know, put ice cream in it and all that. So now to me, I'm having this banana shake every day. I'll throw a banana in it, and it's like, this is awesome. It's like, you know, having your treat in the morning for breakfast, and you know, and it's good for you.
Yeah.
So that's, and you know, kind of like the sandwiches, same thing, mixing some pico de gallo on it or something, and it's great flavor. And it's like, hey,
I can handle this.
Couldn't get this at a restaurant. So, but,
and you're saving money because you're not spending the money on it.
and we found tuna's really cheap. So.
You buy a ton of it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a whole mindset change.
It
you
really
know?
is.
I think it just.
Life change, if you will.
Yeah.
And I do think it's easy to sustain. I don't think, and I think it's kind of something that you want to
Yep.
continue, and you like the results, and you like the way you feel, and so why would you change it back?
Absolutely.
I mean, and
Tell-
it's not hard. It's not hard
Yeah.
at all.
Tell me about it. Y'all doing it together. You was talking about that earlier. What?
It's been really fun together. I think that's been a part of the reason it's been successful. It's because we compete against each other and one up each other, and just laugh at each other when we can't do something or struggle through it. And it's just fun. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah. Tell me about the competing with the cardio, the treadmill. Tell me about that story.
Well, I'd noticed, you know, Eric had put us on the plan of trying to increase our
Interval
heart rate
training.
and bring it down. And what I noticed was I'd get in there and I'd probably be a little lax at going, you know, I'd keep steady pace and I'd bump it up. But then I noticed when she would get off, it wouldn't always reset, and that her mileage was always higher than mine in the same time frame. And so I thought, okay, that's not good. So I started pushing it up, and then I started exceeding hers, and then I let her know about it one day. So and she started pushing hers up. So, you know, at one point we were doing 1.5 miles, and was, I guess, the 30 minutes, or I was doing 1.6 miles, and I thought I was really, you know, pushing it. And now the other day, I think I was at 2.56 or 7 miles in the 30 minutes. So you're having, you know, to push that pace up and hold it, and
Just so I could beat me.
yeah, just yeah. So, but at the same time, it's made it fun, and it's like, hey, this is a much better cardio workout, you know, doing it this way. So.
Another thing that I remember when we sat down and just came back to me, you talked about, you know, your mental focus, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that you felt like that was maybe, you know, not as good as you wanted it. You wanted to improve that. How has that improved?
I think it's helped a lot. You know, although I still get distracted with things during the day, I feel like mentally it's really been, it's improved. So, you know, I think just the whole workout routine has probably been, you know, not just for the body and the, you know, physical side of it, but mentally it's been great.
Outstanding. That's great. So overall, I mean, what is life like now, you know, as a result of your achievements?
I think it's been pretty good. I was really concerned in the beginning about, because I've had knee problems before, especially playing softball and all that, and I was really surprised with the lunges and the squats and all that. You know, I figured my knees would probably be popping in two by now, but I haven't had any problem at all. And I attribute a lot of that, I guess, to the vitamins and,
Yeah.
and all, but it's been, you know, just that part of it. I can tell that just the whole package, the whole balance of things has really kind of pulled it all together. So it's, you know, that part's been good for me.
That's great. How about you? What's life like now?
I think it's more fun. I actually do. I think.
Well, now you're going to events, of course.
Yeah, that's true. I'm interacting. It's yeah.
You actually want to talk to
6.
people now, you know.
That's true. It's just been fun, and it's I don't know. You know, at our age, I feel like it's probably the best time of our life, and we're focused in on lots of different things, but our energy levels and our health, and we're just enjoying it.
Great. You had said earlier when we were talking before we started this about the investment. You know, tell me about the investment into this program.
I wasn't really looking for anything in the beginning. Sherry was the one looking more because she felt like she was too big, and so she was talking of, doing the liposuction. And then that's when she remembered about seeing you talk at the chamber deal before. So as she was talking about it, she was like, "Would you do this with me?" It's like, all right,
Just get lipo.
I guess.
Lipo so much easier.
And really, I'm so glad because, like I say, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I would have bet you money that I would have not even considered doing any kind of running or these little marathon things. So now the other day, here we find ourselves talking about doing Grapevine's doing one over here, some fundraiser deal. We thought, well, we could probably do that one, and that would be a good stair step as we've worked on the treadmill now. It's like, wow, I would have never thought, that I would even consider that. So that's been good too. So, but as far as the investment, I think it's, you hear the MasterCard commercial, about being priceless, and really, it's been good. It's something that we really needed.
And I think part of when you pay for something, you're going to put more into it. I mean, I do think you're going to be, we believe that the plan.
Yep.
And so we're going to follow your plan, and
Yep.
and it did work, and we did get the results. And aside, the investment's not.
So you feel like you got more out of this than you put into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes you hear the phrase of taking years off your life, and I was trying to look back. I think I'm back down to what I was in my late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
As far as weight and energy levels and all that. So.
And the great thing about it is you're probably gonna get even lower than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
You may get in the best shape of your adult life.
Oh yeah.
Here in the next few months.
I can see that.
And at our age, really, for health reasons, I mean, that's going to be. He's under a lot of stress at work.
Yep.
And carrying that extra weight, worry about heart attacks and all that. So really, I feel like you can either pay it to the doctors or you can pay it to work out or something. I just feel like it's the investment is much better spent here than we'll spend it somewhere.
They're masking the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Until it becomes a
Yeah,
problem,
and then you're real health issue.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a good time I wish we'd have done it earlier in our lives, but it wasn't too late. It wasn't too late. So.
Yeah. Well, now
and we weren't necessarily having health problems other
No.
than energy levels for sure, and I could tell I wasn't fit. I mean, when I tried to swim in the pool, I could get so many laps, and it's like, so it's been very eye-opening.
It's amazing what the body is able to do. Actually, if you just feed it and give it what it needs. So.
You got it. Now, what would you say to folks that may be on the fence when it comes to making a decision to work with a fitness professional to help them achieve their goals?
For me, I knew really nothing about working out. I didn't know really what calories were in foods or what proteins were in foods. It was just something I never cared about. And it's been very educational for me. So I think for anybody going into something, if you're not aware, that's where the professional really is advantageous and can get you trained on the right track. And sometimes, and it's kind of the same in our industry, in automotive, there's people that think they know how to fix a car, and after it's broken, they'll bring it in and say, well, it's doing this. They may not ever say that they already broke it, but you know, it's kind of one of those deals that professionals usually do have, you know, the informed decisions for you. So.
Absolutely, and that's great. Your car breaks down, you take it to a mechanic. And
Right.
some people don't really realize when your body's breaking down, they don't get help.
Mhm.
They don't go to a professional.
Right.
And it's same deal. And your body's a little more important than your car.
I kind of refer to this as, as we go through this and then we look at the maintenance ongoing, same thing, whether it be a car or house or whatever, there's got to be some kind of maintenance to keep it there.
Absolutely.
Right, it would be pointless to do all this and then go back. It would
Yeah.
just be pointless.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's not a quick fix. It's the way you live your life now.
Right.
Which allows you to do more things
Right.
and continue to do that.
And that's another good part about us doing it together is that, we're both eating together the same way. And, while I would try to eat one way, even though it probably wasn't the right way, it's more processed, but being educated has helped that. But if he wasn't going to do that, then, we'd be in conflict all the time it wouldn't work.
Yep.
But now that he wants to eat that way and I do, now our kids, no.
Yeah, Beth tends to go elsewhere a lot because, are y'all eating healthy again?
She'll get there.
Yeah, well, you are setting a good example, and even though she may not be on board yet, her body will start changing.
She'll
And
realize
she's thinking that away now.
Yeah.
She's trying to take steps that way, but I think she'll have a hard time giving up some chips.
Right now, she's still in teens.
Yeah, that age,
Yeah, they can do it right now.
But we start in our 20s and 30s and
Changes.
40s.
It changes. We said it wouldn't, but
It does.
Never say never.
You got it. Well, you know
It's
what?
been fun.
Y'all have been fun, and your improvements are because of you. Obviously we laid out the action plan, we taught you how to do it, but y'all made a commitment to it, and when you do that, it's a win-win. For both of us, you get results, and we're happy about it. So you guys keep plugging, keep living the life, representing, and it was fun.
It is fun.
Been good.
Great, good
Thanks.
stuff.
Thank you.